Hey, MrStudofRC here. This is going to be a year and 20-day review of the Spektrum Dx8 Transmitter. Spektrum Dx8 Transmitter. This is not the stock box that came with it. The stock box is this. Completely empty right now because I took the protective foam insert out to show you what's in it. This is the stock box that it comes in. I got this case at Knox for $30 versus $80 for what the cases at Spektrum sells. And I just put these decals or decals, whatever you want to call them, on them from the Spektrum decal or decal sheet. Pretty easy, and I just took the little foam columns you can take out to customize whatever you want to put in it out. And my DX8, and so far it's worked very well for $30 and a pretty big savings. Yeah, whatever savings you can have in RC is always good. So, here's the transmitter. The transmitter comes with the wall adapter and a few other plugs you can put on the wall adapter for different countries, EU, AU, and the UK plugs, along with the US plug, which I am using right now because I'm in the US. So, it also comes with a neck strap and an AR8000 aircraft 8-channel receiver with a receiver extension and a TM1000 telemetry module, along with all things that a TM1000 telemetry module includes. I have all that stuff up there so I can come up there and show you the small parts that you probably won't be able to see from here later in the video. So, I have put a few upgrade parts on this transmitter. I have upgrade gimbals. They're shorter, 24 millimeters, because I fly with my thumbs. If you pinch, you want longer gimbals, like 34 millimeters. Because then it's easier. When you fly with your thumbs, you want it as short as possible so you don't have to move your thumb around as much when you're flying. I also put a different battery in it, 4,000 milliamp 2-cell lithium polymer. Lasts for weeks on end. Weeks. So that's pretty awesome. The nickel metal hydride, stock nickel metal hydride pack, comes with the 2,000 milliamp 4.8 volt nickel metal hydride pack, and that lasts for like 2 days, less than 2 days probably. So yeah, I put that in. That's overcharge protection, so you can't actually overcharge the transmitter, along with an internal balancer. So all you have to worry about is taking that wall adapter that I'll show you, plugging it into the plug in the transmitter, and done. And it'll stop the current coming into it when it thinks that the battery is charged. Whereas the nickel metal hydride pack, you could actually wreck the internal circuitry because you're pumping way too much current, way too many volts into it. And this was a $70 upgrade, but the main reason I bought it was because it had overcharge protection. So, I also dropped it and I broke off the throttle cut and rudder DR switch. I made a video about how to replace and fix those. I just had to take it apart and replace those switches. It wasn't all too hard if you are comfortable soldering. That was a breakage caused by me. Another one caused by me was I scratched the screen, but apparently it comes with a screen cover that's like 1 millimeter, 2 millimeters thick. It's a pretty thick screen cover. So all I had to do was pry it off with a screwdriver and slap a new one on. It was like $9. Each of these switches was like $7. So I haven't honestly spent all too much money on this transmitter in repairs. The upgrade gimbals were $14, the battery was $70. So not all too much for a year and 20 days. I also noticed one day that this throttle gimbal, push up and it goes up in the air. All the other ones, aileron, elevator, rudder, they all spring, so they flip back. Throttle, it just has a bunch of resistance, so when you push up, it does not come back down, which is a lot easier when you fly. And I noticed one day when I pushed up, there was way more resistance that should be there, and it squeaked. Called the Rising Hobby, and they thought it was a big issue. Something could have gotten out in the gimbal. Might have to replace the gimbal. Something could have gotten stuck inside of it. So I looked into it, and it just turns out that there's a stainless steel looking strap that goes over the gimbal, and you can tighten or loosen that. And I just loosened that strap, and there goes the resistance. You can also adjust the ratcheting. You can make that gimbal ratchet a lot, or ratchet a little, or not ratchet at all. I have a little bit of ratcheting on it, and a little bit of resistance, where it's perfectly fine now. Other than that, no issues with the transmitter. Spektrum or Horizon Hobby has been awesome, as they always have been when they help me when I couldn't figure anything out on this, like the Gimbal piece. That's really all I had to ask them for. 8 channels, 30 mile memory, way more. So many things you can adjust that it's quite amazing. So many little things you can just adjust, so many settings. So on that piece, it's an awesome transmitter. 8 channels because, well, I was looking at the DX7. The DX7 does not include the TM1000 telemetry module. This did. And this was less than $100 more. So I thought it'd just be a good idea to get an 8-channel transmitter, because say I want to add a few things to my 7-channel EDF jet or my helicopter, I can with Will. I really felt like it. Whereas 7-channel, I wouldn't really be able to add anything to a big EDF jet, because they normally have 7 channels, those big ones. And it can control helicopters, planes, and sailplanes. Now with the new software, it does easily control sailplanes. You can actually rig it to control ground or surface things, boats, trucks, hovercrafts. But you can do that, not that hard, but it's meant to control helicopters, airplanes, and sailplanes. But then again, whoever followed the rules with how to create RCs, nothing that mean. So it's been an awesome transmitter, and I will now come up there and show you what came in the box. Oh, it also came with your stock, normal, your user guide, decal sheet, decal sheet, and manual. Manual is extremely thick, only because I sell it in so many countries that it has to have the manual in all those languages. The American part isn't actually that long. I'm not going to go over the manuals and that kind of stuff like in an unboxing video, just because you probably know what's going to come in the transmitter, what's going to come in the case. And a lot of people just think that's boring when you go over the books that come with it. I bought this hex driver set from Dynamite, $34. It includes 4 hex drivers, 4 of the most common hex driver sizes known to man. And I used it. This is all I need for my 450X, the DX8. When I take it apart, my Traxxas Summit, I don't need any more than these 4. So that's always been extremely awesome for $34, so I'd be suggesting that. I also bought the MrStudofRC simulator. Infinity scopes, you can fly as far as you want to, and the landscape just keeps on going. It's also extremely realistic. You can upload any aircraft you could possibly need to fly. Just look it up and you download it. When updates come out, updates are free, whereas some other simulators, they're not free. So it's been an awesome simulator. I do still use it to learn how to fly new things and to just play around sometimes, because it is kind of fun. I also borrowed it out to some of my friends that have started the hobby. $130 about this transmitter. I have the cord there that I can show you, but you just plug it into my DX8, and I can control any model with my DX8. So I'm still familiar with it with the transmitter that I own. If you do not have a transmitter that's compatible with the Phoenix 4RC simulator, you can buy a version for $200 instead of $130 that comes with a DX5E. So put that option too. And then I will come up there and show you all the stuff that I talked about. Okay, here I am. So, TM1000 telemetry module. Right now it's installed on my 450X, but it is right there. Okay, right there, TM1000 telemetry module. And it comes with a little Y harness that really just splits those contacts into, or those plugs into the plug there. To plug both the temperature and voltage sensor into one port on the telemetry module. Comes with this temperature sensor. Just wrap this end around the motor and it senses that temperature. And this end goes into that Y harness. It also comes with an extremely simple voltage sensor. This end goes into the Y harness. And this end is just 2 bare ends that you just solder into your battery lead or your lead from your ESC. And that's really annoying to do. So if you don't want to do that, you can go to Spektrum, and for any plug, they sell this. Soldering is already done, just have to plug your 2 plug ends in, one to the battery lead, one from the lead from the ESC, and this into that Y harness, and you're done. No soldering involved. So I do suggest you spend the money on that, just because I did on my original 450X. I did do the soldering, and it was horrible. It took me 6 hours, and I would have definitely had those 6 hours bought the bolts that Spektrum sells, but I didn't know it at that time that they actually sold one. Here's the AR8000 aircraft 8-channel receiver with a receiver extension that comes with the DX8. So there's a telemetry module and all those included parts, except for this voltage sensor that comes separate that I bought for $24 from Spektrum. So it comes with that receiver too. The extension is just for increased range. That's really all it does. It also comes with a 128 megabyte SD card. You can go on to Spektrum.com, or you can go on any website that you bought your helicopter or plane from, and you can download the settings instead of just inputting them yourself from the manual, which is a lot more convenient. It's a lot easier. All you have to do is download those settings onto your SD card, pop that into your transmitter, go to the settings, press import settings, and you're done. You just slap a name onto that, onto those settings, and you're done. So it also comes with this wall adapter. Wall wart. This end goes into your transmitter. This end goes right there. Here's that SD card slot that I talked about. And the cool thing about this is, say you live in a different country, or say you're on vacation. Boom. This is the American plug, because I live in America. But they also have not America, not America, not America. And if you're living in one of those countries that uses one of those plugs, then you know what plug that's for. But so that's convenient too. And to install a plug, it's extremely easy. You just take the adapter, take the plug, slide it in, and push down. And there you go, you're done. So that's extremely convenient. Then with that Phoenix X4RC simulator, boom, 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 infinity scope. See? Infinity scope. Okay. Here's a cord that connects here. This end goes into your trainer port on your transmitter, which is right there in most transmitter. There. You go down the cord line to the very end, which has a USB plug. And that goes into your computer, and that's how you just connect your transmitter to your computer. Pretty simple. The transmitter also includes this neck strap. This handy-dandy neck strap. It says Dx8 Spektrum RC on it. Here are all those 4 hex drivers from Dynamite that have been extremely convenient. They seem very solid. They seem very rugged. They seem very good quality. Has very good quality hex drivers. So those have been awesome. Here's my lithium polymer battery upgrade with the overcharge protection and the internal balancer. And this is the stock battery that came with it. 2000 milliamp, 4.8 volt nickel metal hydride pack. Very small. You can overcharge your transmitter using that, which is why I upgraded. Here are my upgrade gimbals. Okay, they're shorter because I fly with my thumbs, like this. Some people pinch, like this. So they pinch, and it's better to have longer gimbals when you pinch, shorter gimbals when you fly with your thumbs. I broke off the throttle cut switch and the rudder DR switch. Well, I jammed the rudder DR switch. Easy to replace if you know how to solder. I scratched this protected cover, but Spektrum once again made it extremely convenient. All I have to do is slap on a new one and I'm done. So, it's been an awesome transmitter. LED backlighting. Okay. So in the dark, it's pretty awesome. If you fly in the dark, this scroller is a lot like on a computer. You scroll, you click. Easy as that. It's like a mouse on a computer. And so far, it's been an awesome transmitter. I have had it for a year and 20 days, a year and a month. So far, I'm very pleased with it. A lot of settings, more settings than most of the average hobbyists use. Very pleased with it, like I said. I do suggest buying this to anybody. I do suggest that I would suggest to anybody to buy this one. This is an awesome transmitter. I have had bad experiences with transmitters, and this has been a good one. So, please subscribe, comment, rate, like, dislike if you really want to, whatever floats your bubble. This has been another MrStudofRC year and 20-day review of the Spektrum Dx8 Transmitter. So far, MrStudofRC signing off.